What's up, zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard youth Walt, coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone, man. Today, Vegas is going to look into the future for us, Jason, just like the Oracles in 300. They said, do not fight. They fought anyways. You saw how that ended. Spoiler alert. Hey, man, we've got 8 questions. Like, about, Jacory Crosby, whatever, Merritt. I just call him Bill. Is he going to continue on? What about Stefon Diggs, dog? Stuff like that. See what Vegas thinks about those players. I even have one about Mason Taylor, who I just picked up off of waivers. I'm sure a lot of you guys did too. Can you start him? Would Vegas start him? So we're going to translate odds to fantasy points, answer some questions like that. Jason, before we get into everything, I got news. But before we get even into that, we need help, man. Just look at me. All right. This is my only jersey that I ever wear anymore. Jason's pointing to the damn board. Read it. Anyways, Jason, please tell the public how they can help this show.
Yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe, smash the like. It sends us out to more people. We need to get it out there into other people's homes in a kind way, in a friendly way. We're also on the radio on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure to check us out there and send us a follow. We got a thank you button on all of our videos if you're feeling friendly. And we also got a Discord. And it's still only me. But appreciate some company. Back to you, Tyler.
Yeah, and I always like, I should join it. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Jason, I told you to draft this guy. Well, head coach Mike Vrabel just said this on Treyveon Henderson. I got a big old diesel going by me. We'll have some more stuff for him and everybody else who can help us. I'd like to have him get more involved on kickoff returns. And that's not what I want to hear, dude. This reminds me when Kyron Williams was going to start the year as a kick return. Everybody freaked out. So, yeah, not good news for Treyveon Henderson.
Well, he's one of my questions later, so.
There you go, dude. Well, we'll talk about that again. Jason, Chuba Hubbard did not practice still, so look for Rico Dowdle to be a full smash this week. And then, hey, this one's for the crazy people out there. I've started Taysom Hill before. Jason, have you ever started Taysom Hill?
Taysom?
Taysom.
No. I'll never start him.
I have. And it worked out once, didn't the other time. Saints head coach Kellen Moore has said that Taysom Hill has been taking reps in that position as a quarterback and is certainly has been certainly plenty through, what the fuck am I reading? The last couple of weeks, so he's definitely available. Anyways, it'd be the backup quarterback, man. So I just copied and pasted the quote, and now I don't know if it's the bold letters or what. I can't even barely read that shit. So, Jason, Taysom Hill, for all those people out there that like that shit, roll that dice and start him.
Do you feel like he could be a full-time starter in people's rosters now? Or is he going to be a streamer?
Well, I need to see him for a couple of weeks, but I'm just thinking if he just has to overcome Spencer Rattler, there might be a time where he's listed as a tight end and starting quarterback or playing 50% quarterback,
Yeah.
Because back in the day, he was competing with Derek Carr and still getting playing time. Now he's going to get Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, and a new system, too, with Kellen Moore as the coach. Maybe he wants to put him at quarterback a lot more.
Mac Jones, Jason, is going to get the start, and he has banged up his knees. But I'm not betting against him, all right? So Brock Purdy is out another week.
Yeah, I thought it was worse. Remember, we were watching that game, and he got hit him straight to his calf. I was like, his Achilles is gone.
Oh, that's right.
No.
He
was just trying
yeah, I know. And who's there? I bet you they would have put Christian McCaffrey in as quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're not getting enough reps. We're going to use you till you die. All right, Jason.
Use you till you die.
So that's too damn. I'm tired, coach. He's all, that's too damn bad. Right. Anyways,
yes. Great quote.
Name that movie.
Holes.
Who was the main actor in that movie?
What's her name from Alien? Weaver. Sequoia
There's
Weaver.
Shia LaBeouf, man.
Shia LaBeouf. What? Breakout.
Dude, even Stevens was his breakout. Hey, Jason, first question is about my BTJ. And I thought I put this up to the top because Vegas is making some bold claims right now. My question was, does BTJ over his slump, or will he continue to take dumps on my soul versus Seattle? Witherspoon was out last week. Let's see, check his health before this game starts. That would be a huge help. Okay. His over and under for receptions, Jason, is at 5.5. Not only is this guy averaging 3.2 receptions per game over the whole season, he hasn't even had over 5.5 receptions all season. He had 5 receptions last game or the game before. I can't remember, one game. So he's hit the under on this every single game. So Vegas is saying, hey, this is gonna be his best game. The receiving yards, dude, 58.5. He's averaging 48.8, but he's only surpassed that, hit the over on that one game all year. That was last week. So holy shit, Jason, how do you feel about BTJ having his best game of the season this week?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that they're projecting him to get more. He said he's never had he's never had a 5 reception game.
No, the over and under, he needs to have 6 to hit the over there. He's had 1 5 reception game, and that was last week.
One. Okay. Yeah, maybe they're saying that's the start of a trend. I'm trying to find his targets here. And he's getting 7 targets a game. That's kind of, for wide receiver 1. I don't know, man. This one's tough. I think I would stay away from this.
Yeah, Jason, and I would stay away from those 2 props as well. I mean, 5.5 receptions, man. I would definitely take the under on that. But there is a chance he has his best game. And the receiving yards, dude, it only happened in 1 week. I feel like I've been burned so much by this dude. I would not want to mess with those 2 props right there. The over and under longest reception, Jason's at 21.5. That's actually pretty good. So still throwing the ball downfield. And I did put this in here real quick. Over and under first quarter receiving yards at 11.5. Something I know about BTJ, I feel like his first halves are way better than his second halves, at least in the 4 games before last game. I think I would take the over on that, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't noticed, like, if he plays better in the second half or the first half. I would assume because of their record that he would probably play better in the first half because they're playing with the lead most of the time in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Except last game.
Yeah. So, like, more neutral game script. I mean, they are going against Seattle, and Seattle just put up a ton of points versus the Buccaneers, but that was at home, and now they're going all the way across the country to Jacksonville. I'm pretty sure that's what the case is. So yeah, Jason, I would take the under on I'm going to take the over on the first quarter receiving yards, and I have no problem with it. Anytime touchdown plus 165. So not the greatest odds, like 30% or something like that, 28, something high 20s. And I checked out his red zone targets, only 4 red zone targets. So if he gets a touchdown, it's going to need to probably come from, outside of 20 yards, if I had to guess. And then the over-under for this game, point totals, Jason, that's pretty high for Jacksonville and Seattle. They're both coming off like 2 hot games. So 47.5 there, with Jacksonville getting 1.5 points. So Seattle's actually favored to win this game. So I actually like that. It's going to be a close game script, or maybe Jacksonville's going to have to come from behind. So I like the game script here as well.
I just looked at his yards per reception, and it's 15. So if he gets 1 reception in the first quarter, it's going to be over 11 yards.
I think that's my favorite prop out of all those. I put, if I was rich, I'd put like 10,000 on that. But if I was me, I'd do like $1.50.
Yeah, that's how I am right now. Dude, Tyler, I'm watching the game right now, the Thursday night game. They just did like 4 straight tush pushes with Jalen Hurts. Starting from
first and 10?
It was like 3rd and 1 at the 4-yard line, and then they got it, and then they just kept going yard by yard.
I guess because they were pinned inside.
And they even had a lineman get injured, and they were like, "All right, let's run it again."
Let's do it. Crazy. It was worth it, man. We got that yard. Well, they're gonna ban that shit. I already know they are. So, anyways, all right. So that's BTJ. Is BTJ over his slump? Vegas says yes, man. He will not continue to take dumps. All right, dog. Let's get to your first question. Should I wake up just in time to watch Fields versus the Broncos?
Because it's in London. It's at 6:30.
Dude, I wish you would have in London. So hey, very clever, Jason. I like that one. I didn't even, like I said, I copied and pasted this shit on here without trying to read it. So smart of you to put the rushing yards over and under. So his floor is what, dude? 4 points. Maybe he gets 4 rushing points right there. Attempts 7.5. He was averaging 6 all last season and was a top 5 freaking quarterback. Passing yards, Jason, over and under 191. That is pretty common for him and like Jalen Hurts. Passing attempts over and under, dude, 29.5 again, common. So what do you see out of all this? Anytime scores plus 235, dude, 3+ touchdowns you wrote plus 11,000.
Yeah, is that crazy?
So you're looking at what? Let's say he gets like 8 points from yards, and then 4 points. Looks like a floor of 12 points. Yeah, like a floor of like 12 points, and then if you throw some touchdowns in there, Jason. So how do you feel about him versus the Broncos? I know that you own him. Are you going to start him this week?
No, I'm not going to start him this week. I think that defensive line is going to dominate this game. That defense in general is probably going to dominate this game. I think if you're going to start him, Fields is like the garbage man king this year. So that's what you're hoping for is garbage time. I do see a possibility of more rushing attempts and more rushing yards, but I wouldn't be surprised if his passing yards is under 191.
Yeah, you're banking on. I'm thinking because like I want to say somebody just some Russian quarterback just went up against a good defense, wasn't it? What did Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts just got like nothing right against Denver as far as rushing last week.
Yeah, as far as rushing, I'm not sure, but I know he had 1 passing touchdown, right? At least to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. So I think the most appealing thing for me is because I could see him getting 40 yards. Jason, I think there's a 50% chance or less than that because I could see him getting bottled up. They're just like, hey, we're not going to let Fields run the ball, make him throw it all the time. So,
and I'm okay thinking that way because of that defensive line is that good. And the offensive line for the Jets have been kind of crap.
I think I'm comfortable with the over on the rushing attempts because I do think that, with the coverage, Patrick Surtain, and then I can't remember if it was their slot cornerback was good too. But yeah, dude, I think that he's going to have to run the ball a lot. He's going to look downfield and not see any separation and then have to run. But I think my favorite one would be the under on passing touchdowns, Jason.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What is you said there's something there for like 4 or 3 plus? That's not happening.
Oh, yeah, it's 3+. But I'm saying the under on passing touchdowns. So do you think he'll get 1.5? Or do you think he'll get 1 passing touchdown or 2?
I think he'll get 1. Yeah, sorry. I think he'll get 1.
I think he'll get 1 as well. So I'm comfortable with those 2 props. Not super freaking pumped about it because I don't know if the Broncos are going to allow garbage time or not. That's the huge question.
So I was trying to look up Jalen Hurts rushing last week against the Broncos, and he had 3 yards.
Holy shit. That's what I was thinking because I was like, man, they just swallowed somebody up, man. But again, Justin Fields is like even way faster than Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I would just stick with the 2 props. Under passing touchdowns. Yeah. And over on rushing attempts. I'm comfortable with that. And then, so should I wake up just in time to watch Justin Fields, Jason?
No.
Vegas says yes. Floor 12 points. So if he does anything with a touchdown, that's 18 points right there. And unless you've got a better option, I would start Justin Fields. All right, dog.
I'm sleeping in.
Jason, this one's your favorite one. Can Bill run wild versus the Bears, or will he suck Hitcock? So Wild Bill Hitcock, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'd explain it to Jason. Over and under rushing yards, 63.5. Right now, he's averaging 56.6 on the season and 111 yards last week versus the Chargers and over 63.5 in 2 of 5 games. So he's hit the over on that prop only 2 times. He's coming off his best game with his most usage. Jason, what do you think as a Bill owner? Do you think he's going to get? Did he hit the over? What do you think his usage is going to be?
Oh my gosh, it's up in the air. I think what we saw last week against the Chargers defense, I think he's going to get I think he's going to take majority of the carries, probably at least like
10 plus rushing attempts. He's had 10 plus in game
Yeah,
one, and then he had
I
like
think
14 or something last game.
I think he'll have like 60 to 70% of the carries.
All right, so you're thinking so that will be 10 plus. So, Jason, I would go over on the rushing yards versus the Bears, dude. The Bears, yeah, versus the Bears, dude. Yeah, I would take the over. Especially when we look at the game point total as well. What's up?
Yeah, and I want to throw in here like the Bears are actually giving up the most yards before contact this season.
Straight
like
from the horse's
yards.
mouth.
Yeah.
Jason, why the long face? Wilbur. My dad used to say that. I think that's an old TV show. Anyways, moving forward, his longest rush is the explosive. Will he get an explosive rush? He'll get an explosive rush plus Jason, 15 yards, long at 27 last week. So I do like that. I do like when I watch him, it seems like he always gets one long run. So I'm down with that. As far as receptions goes, Jason, 1.5, I would actually take the over on that. 2 receptions each of his last 2 games, and then one the game before that. So he's averaging over that right now over the last 3 games. So we're looking at what? If we're lucky, we're going to get 7 points from his yards. We're going to get 2 points from receptions, maybe. And then receiving yards, he did not have that stat, but let's just say it's like 15 yards. So that'll be 9, 10 points. He's got like a 10-point floor. But the thing is, Jason, Vegas has him in negative odds. So greater than 50% chance to score a rushing touchdown. He had 2 rushing touchdowns last week, 3 on the season. He's going against the damn Bears. So put his 10-point floor, 9-point floor with a touchdown. We're looking at about 15 points. So, and then we'll real quick, the over and under, Jason, for this game total is at 50.5. I think that's the highest of the week. That's insane. 47 plus is a lot. And then with the Bears getting 4.5 points, so it should be a negative game script. They should have the lead. They should be leaning on Bill most of the game. So everything is setting up perfect for him to hit the over on almost everything.
Yeah, I think this is like a must start for Bill.
I'm starting him in our listener league. I had him on a bench last week.
Put him in.
So can Bill run wild versus the Bears? The answer is yes, Jason.
And the Bears are the Bears give up the third most points to running backs.
Third most, yeah. I believe it, dude. Okay. Does Treyveon take lead back duties or Vrabel continue to hinder? Jeez, dude. That's good. You're like, how long did it take you to think of that? You're like, Henderson.
For some weird reason, it hasn't been taking me long lately.
So do you want to read off the stats? I don't. Or am I talking too much?
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. So rushing yards, Jason over and under, not the greatest, 33.5. Rushing attempts, 9.5. You tell me he gets 9.5 rushing attempts, dude? That fool averages like over 4 yards a carry, which is, 9 times 4 is 36. So you're already over the rushing yards. Anytime score plus 130. That is actually not terrible. Hey, I've seen worse than that, 30%. Reception yards over and under at 15.5, Jason. So we're looking at maybe, I would take the over on the yards. So I'm looking at 4 points from yardage. We're looking at maybe 3 receptions. I think that he got that last game. So that's 7 points. All right. Maybe then 8 points, maybe 9 points if you get 20 reception yards as well. So we're looking at a floor of 9, maybe 8. And then if he gets a touchdown, which is a 33% chance, Jason, that is flex worthy. So I know it sucks and the news that I broke, but yeah, I am actually, I'm starting Treyveon Henderson, I think, in my flex this week, Jason.
He averages 3.8 yards per carry.
Damn. When I watch, man, that sucks. I thought it was like 4.5. Maybe that's just what I want to believe. Thanks for checking me.
Well, the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because, I'm trying to figure out why this guy hasn't taken lead back, duties yet, ever since everyone's fumbling and tearing ACLs for the Patriots. And if you go and look at the metrics right now, like Stevenson is running better than him. It is crazy. I don't know how this is possible. They even I read some stat that his pass blocking success rate, Stevenson, is higher than Henderson as well. So I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason they're playing. There's a reason they're playing Ramondre Stevenson, man. And that's fine. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is his pass. When I was talking about drafting him high, I was thinking James White, man, and but like souped up. And James White was a running back 7 one year, so 90 something targets. That's all I wanted, and he's not getting that. Ramondre was getting the 5 receptions, and then Treyveon would still get like 2 or 3. If Treyveon gets all of that, he will be a running back 2. But yeah, that's what's pissing me off. Just give me. I don't care about Ramondre being the better runner. Just give me the pass stuff. Well, anyways,
yeah, go on.
Does Treyveon take lead back duties, Jason? Looks like Vrabel will continue to hinder Son.
Yeah.
Son.
He's only getting about like 6.4 rushing attempts too, so I don't know. I think I would do a lot of the under on this.
Yeah. Well, I'm forced, I think, because of buys and Jordan Mason and some other shit.
I get it.
I'm just trying to talk myself into it, Jason. Hey, next question. I got this guy on waivers. Somebody else got Jatavian Sanders. I think Jatavian Sanders is like leading all tight ends and red zone targets with like 9. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, Mason Taylor gets more targets, right? So the question is, will Mason Taylor get bucked versus Broncos, or he stay on that PPR saddle for one more week? So he's going against the Broncos, and usually I like tight ends versus good defenses because they usually lock down the wide receivers and they're forced to throw to the tight end with less time to throw. Over and under receptions, Jason, at 3.5. He's had 4+ receptions in each of the last 3 weeks. He had 9 just last week. So I like the over on that a lot, actually. Over and under receiving yards, man. 34.5. He's averaging. That's pretty much his average. But he's had 35+ in 2 of the last 3. I think he's had 60+ in 2 of the last 2. So I actually like the over on that. Over and under longest reception at 15.5 yards. I wouldn't even fuck with that because I don't know. Anytime touchdown, Jason, plus 270. That's terrible. He only has 3 red zone targets on the season. So I would not look for him to catch that one Justin Fields touchdown. It's either going to be Breece Hall or Garrett Wilson. And then you over and under game point total for this game, Jason's a low 43.5 with the Jets getting 6.5 points. That's great news. So it's Vegas thinks that the Jets are going to be down by, at least a touchdown for most of the game. So we're looking at Mason Taylor getting a lot more opportunities. We're looking for Justin Fields to throw the ball more. So how do you feel about Mason Taylor this week, Jason?
I think Mason Taylor's also going to get a lot of activity in garbage time, which that's what he did last week too, which is fine. Points are points. We're okay getting that. But Mason's been playing Mason's playing his balls off, but that doesn't make any sense. What would you say? He's playing his
sweating the balls off out here, dude. I'm pretty sure.
He's playing so hard, he's sweating his balls off. The last 2 weeks, man, he's a 26% target share, 1.89 yards per route run, 66 yards a game, 27.8% first read share. He's quickly turned into Justin Fields' safety blanket out there. So I'm glad that you put him on your waiver wire show because I think this guy needs to be rostered in. I'm sorry.
I dropped Harold Fannin for him, Jason. So, anyways, what was I going to tell you? Oh, so the question, will Mason Taylor get bucked versus the Broncos? The answer is no. He's going to stay on that PPR saddle. All right, Jason, let's go down to your next question. I saw this for a second and I was like, I think I read this one for just a sec. I didn't understand it, but I kind of laughed. Does Jaylen warrant starting running back duties? Let's see. Rushing yards over and under only. So, Jason, he's set to actually play this week?
Well, I saw that he was limited in practice or he practiced. So I'm like, okay, well, if he does play, how much is he going to play? Because, Kenneth Gainwell, he played great against the Vikings?
Oh, yeah. Well, Vegas is. If Vegas putting out over and unders on him, they have a lot of confidence he's going to play. Because if there's anybody in question, man, they don't even put that shit out. So, rushing yards 45.5. Rushing attempts at 13.5, man. Whew. And do you know who they're going against?
The Browns.
That's why, because I was like, give me the over on the rushing yards, man, with those attempts. Then rushing plus rush and receiving yards over and under 67.5. So you're looking at if you get lucky, that's a 7-point floor, maybe with so 3 receptions, maybe. So that's a 10-point floor. That's actually pretty good. The thing I see here, Jason, that stands out is the anytime score at only plus 100. So you're getting up there, man. That's a good chance to score a touchdown. Reception yards over and under at 17.5. So maybe you get, so you get 3 receptions, maybe 20 yards. It's 5 point. Oh, yeah. Anyways, it sounds like Jaylen Warren could actually be a flex option this week.
Yeah. It looks like that he's going to take those the RB duties back from Kenneth Gainwell. Sorry. Yes.
And it sucks.
RB1 again.
You know who faced Kenneth Gainwell the only time that he was going to score the points at all? It was me.
It was you.
It's fucking 30 points, dude. I was like, I
hate you.
Fantasy football is crazy, man. Anyways, so the thing that I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of what I like on here. Receptions, I bet you, it's like, how healthy is he? I almost want to stay away from this just because I don't know the health. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, if he's healthy, I would take the over on receptions.
Yeah, he was a last-minute scratch last week or the week before.
Yeah, you're
Remember
right.
that?
Going into that game, it was last second.
And then he's had 2 weeks.
So let's just say he gets if he gets exactly the same that he got last time, what would you feel comfortable with taking on this out of these props?
I think I would take the receptions.
Me too.
I would take the over on the receptions and the yards. Before he went out with an injury and didn't play that game, he was leading he was second in receptions on the team and leading the team in reception yards.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
that is crazy.
That.
So, yeah, just off the top of my head, when I think about the Browns defense and, stopping the run, I wouldn't want to mess with any of that. But when I just think about receptions for running backs going versus the Browns, and that's what I would do. I think even Jordan Mason had like 2 or 3 receptions against the Browns. So yeah, I like that, Jason. So Jaylen does warrant starting running back duties. All right, you're gonna love this one, Jason. If you're up in pop culture, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Can Stefon Diggs continue to offset his poor fantasy performances to get Cardi B off his back or claw himself back to a top 12 wide receiver versus New Orleans?
God.
Do you know that Cardi B was like married to Offset and then she broke up with him? And
yeah, I just didn't think there was an ending to that question.
Man, dude, and then I was thinking that there was like domestic abuse allegations. So I was like, claw.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I had a lot of time.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Thank you. I was gonna do that one first, but I was like, I gotta keep these people around, man. I should have done it first. All right, anyways. Over and under on receptions, Jason. 4.5. This does not make any sense to me. He's averaging, we're going against New Orleans. I guess they're just going to go up by 1,000 points and they're not going to throw the ball anymore. He's averaging 5.8 receptions on the year. And he has 6+ in 3 of 5 games. The over and under for receiving yards is at 60.5. Dude, he's averaging 71.8 and he has got 100+ receiving yards in each of the last 2 games. Over and under longest reception, I wouldn't do, but 22.5 yards is pretty long. To only, have an over under of 60.5 yards. Anytime touchdown, plus 145. So that's like, that's okay odds. Only 3 red zone targets. So if he does score a touchdown, it's probably going to come from way out. And then the game point total is low at 45.5. New Orleans only getting 3.5 points. So it should be a close game. I do not understand why there are I would take the over on the receiving yards, the over on the receptions. I do not understand that, Jason, why they have it so low.
Yeah, because Stefon Diggs just keeps increasing his totals like every week. Maybe because they're on the road. Patriots do kind of start slow on the road, so maybe that might be the reason why. But I would definitely take the over on the receptions and the over on the receiving yards. They do not like to throw the ball in the red zone. They like to run. So yeah, I would not do. Yeah, so the only 3 red zone targets I completely understand. But I would take the over.
Yeah, I think this one's an easy one for me. I should have put this one first. I forgot. I was going extreme the other direction in the first one with BTJ. But yeah, anyways, hey, Stefon Diggs, man. 2 give you money bets right there. And he's going to continue to offset his poor. He is going to do great. Offset's going to be pissed. All right, Jason. Let's go to your last question. Oh my God. Will Jaylen paddle instead of waddle the Chargers' cheeks? I read it, and it's hard. It's funny when you say Chargers cheeks.
Chargers cheeks.
Anytime score plus 145. So hey, I mean, again, it's like a 25% chance to score a touchdown, maybe high 20s. I can't remember. Reception yards, Jason, at 67.5 against the Chargers, and the Chargers just gave up. I mean, they just got their ass kicked. Was it Washington that just played the Chargers, or who was it?
Yeah, the Commanders.
Yeah, that's what it was. But that they did a lot on the ground, and you know, Jaylen Warren or Jaylen didn't have to throw that much, so it wasn't much through the air. So now I'm just thinking about how wide receivers would do recently versus the Chargers. The reception, Jason, over and under at 5.5. I'd probably take the over on that, no problem. Longest reception over and a half, 22.5. So he is, you know, still. I think he's playing that Tyreek role now. So I would not be surprised if he hit the over on that one. But yeah, Jason, will Jaylen paddle the Chargers' cheeks? We're looking at 7 points maybe for yards, 6 points. That's 13 points as a floor with a decent anytime touchdown. Yeah, I think he's going to be a wide receiver, maybe a low end wide receiver 1, high end wide receiver 2, probably.
Yeah, and honestly, I would even take the longest reception over.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking, I was like, dude, but the way they do it, like, do you think he's actually going to catch it 22 yards downfield? I think he's going to catch like something 10 yards and then get an extra, get an extra 15 yards after that.
I think it's going to be something down the field.
Okay. Because I was just thinking about how when I watch Tyreek Hill, usually it's something short. You know, when it was with the Chiefs, it was always long. Usually with Miami, it's something short where he takes it long. So yeah, Jason, anything else about Jaylen Waddle?
No. The only thing is that the games that he played without Tyreek Hill, he did pretty well with Tua. So this is a little bit of a tougher matchup, but I mean, he had 9 targets last week.
Yeah, and we're just trying to ask for 5.5 receptions. So
yeah,
and he's always had good rapport with Tua. So yeah, I'm not worried about that. All right, Jason, I'm going to stop sharing right now. Let's see. Oh shit, went to the wrong one. That was a show. All right. Look where Jason's pointing, for God's sakes. If you have a player or any good bets that you want to mention down below, maybe pique our interest, please do that. That'd be great. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up, man. Hopefully we earned a subscription. That's exactly what the show needs right now, man. Please, I'm begging you. Jason, please send us out.
Yeah, so the following day after this comes out, we have our live rankings video where you could jump in, have a brewski with us, talk shop, and we will answer your guys' questions. I'll talk to you in that video. Deuces.
This is the Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you.